questions. Let's collect 3 questions, and afterwards we will continue.
Policy, fiscal policy, how the multiplier would be different. I wrote a Jackson Hole paper last year with Pierre-Olivier Gorinchat, Veronica Sander, and Nick Sander, and Veronica Penchova.
2 minutes. Yes, I don't have much to add.
Literature in the US that tries to understand what is going on with investment and employment relies on micro foundations and microdata, firm-level data, but they go and use CompuStat data. They go and use the publicly listed firm data set because, unfortunately, that's the only available data set that they can use to test these macrofinance models that gives you the...
I would have guests in who were venture capitalists because I knew nothing. And you have many things.
Yeah.
Let's not have that discussion, perhaps.
There are many things, and that's true. We also, for instance, in Denmark, we managed to...
All right, thank you to our panel here. We now quickly move here to our first paper presentation from Michael Owens.
Was having to worry about crises and fiscal deficits and countries who are in bad shape economically. The first is don't trust the numbers, the economic numbers, in terms of politics. So at least don't trust a lot about this in terms of the changing nature of the economy. What's the unemployment rate really telling us when you have an...
there are going to be 2 conflicting objectives, right? You're in a recession, you want to lower the interest rate, but at the same time, your currency is depreciating. That depreciation is going to call for a higher interest rate.
Our central bank, the Turkish central bank, mainly agreed with the IMF.
Externally imposed, but certainly in the case of Latin America, just giving...
That is something that we expect to see in place in the next year or so. I also made the...
And to have, this first presentation.
of International Studies and voxeu.org. First of all,
on the integration to the global value chain, and we are more integrated.
I'm very much puzzled by your chart number 8, in which you look at the bilateral correlation and how your measure of convergence, the
I mean, that's exactly the regression I showed. So when you do the right, I mean, and you account for the crisis is a bigger effect.
Tremendous empirical effort and really imaginative and interesting. But let me focus on the financial integration point. And there...
Yeah. I think this is a question for Şebnem more than it is for me.
Okay, can I just show you one thing? Can I have my slides? Agree. I think this this measure that really shows us deep integration, and it tells us the importance of value chain, and it
Very much with this very good recommendation. I think that we have reached the end of this session.
And first of all, we should definitely incorporate those papers and the channels. Just a clarification point. I'm sure the regulation is stricter here, and in fact, Nobu Kiyotaki told me that in Japan, firms can never pledge their earnings. But here, you see, we take a very broad, I mean, because in the raw data, they pledge account receivable and blanket lien, right? Blanket lien is really their equity. Yeah. So it ties very back, it's the value of the firm, right? So, but account receivable, that's what Nobu was telling me, it's never allowed in Japan. Europe might, so let me be very clear. The asset story just works as usual, right? So if you tell me, okay, in this jurisdiction, you can only borrow if you pledge, like if you're a small firm, you pledge your house, or if you pledge your, equipment.
Thanks a lot. I think our time is ended now. So thanks again to Oscar, Margherita, Şebnem, and Katerina for the great paper and discussion.